So Joe asks like which extension, like live server, that you can see what you're calling like. I'm not sure what I don't know what you mean, but live server is, I think it's like what already used, like already enough. So for some of us, like I don't think I have explained what live server is. So if we, like for example, delete this assignment and then we save it, it's automatically like change. If we don't use live server, we probably need to like delete the assignment, save the file, and then refresh the website again. So it's like two actions instead of one action that we can do with live server. So it's like helpful in that case. So if we use like other libraries, like other programming languages, I think there's like similar extension. I think if you like Node.js, you can use like NodeMon. Yeah, but it's really useful. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to continue to next section, but before that, I'm going also to explain the other files. So this is the style.css. This is the using the format that I've explained in the previous lectures. So we have the color here that has been explained in the Figma, and we have the color here. I will use this more later, but the important is the default.css. So most people might not really know about this default.css. This is like the custom reset. I actually also know this from Kian, and I think this is a very useful reset because our like HTML by default, it's not like really default because there's just something that's a bit annoying. So for example, if I remove all of this and then I save it, see, as you can see, I think there's like a bit of margin here. And then some image also like a bit broken because they don't use this default. So my recommendation is just to use this default. But if you are not really sure, you can like try it again. And then yeah, there's, if you open the blog here, he gives like his justification on like why does he do this everything. But I think this is quite helpful. Yeah, okay. So we are going to move to the next section, the project section. All right. So in the project section, if you see in the Figma here, they have text is the heading. So the heading is instant, and we have the project item here, which is probably a div, and we have the image here, and then project item description. So yeah, there are some things that we probably need to do. Okay, so we do step by step. So yeah, we do H2 projects here. And then we are going to use the project item. So this is a div. We want to have meaningful names to this, so we can use project item. So it's item that's inside the project. And then we can use image here. And then can use RC, can just use dot slash, then just give helpful recommendation here. So we have already given this project image PNG. And then for the alt, can just use project image, project one image, yeah, or anything. Just see for a second. Oh yeah, nice. So we have these projects. And then we can move it to the project item description here. So this is project item description, and this is a div. So we can use div here again. And also, according to the Figma project, oops, typo, project item description. So yeah, this class is a bit janky, but because this is inside a project, inside a div called project item, and then beside also like a project here, that's why we need description here. We need this double strip this inside of this item and project. And then in here we have v2 here. So this is the next biggest text after projects. So project is h2, so we use h3. SSS website v2. And then we can use, this is just normal paragraph here. So I will just use this thing, just copy paste. Like there's also like if you want to, this is just like I'm demonstrating the workshop, but you can use like other image, you can use other project title and project description, but this is what I'm going to use as a demonstration. And then if we use here this project item actions also, so we can use div, another div. Oh, we use div project item actions. So I think if I use emet here, if I just use dot and I enter it, it's subject to div and class. I'm not sure if this applies to all computers, but yeah, I just find this kind of interesting instead of just doing div and then putting class again. Then we can use button here. So button here is similar to this kind of button. So we can just use anchor tag with the class of btn. So a dot. So we can class of btn. Then view project. I'll just use just this wall, and then view project, and then also another btn wall also, and then btn and view site. But as we can see, these are like two different things, like have different text color and background. So how do we make these two different, even though it looks like it has like the same mirror characteristic? So what we can do is to have another class here. So we have two classes here, the btn and secondary. As we can see before, this is also a btn, but because this is like inside the hero, we can kind of style this a bit differently. And then this is view project, this is view site. Okay. And then I think that's it for this project section. See portfolio now. Okay, yeah. The HTML is there, and then I think the HTML looks good. And then okay, so we can go to the next section, which is the contact. Contact. Let's see contact. So this is the contact. We have these three things: get in touch, P, and say hello. Okay, so we can use code right away. So get in touch probably the biggest in the section, so we can use get in touch. And then we can use the tag here. Just copy this. And then you can say, can use btn here, a tag. Then class is btn, and then so this has btn dot inverted, so it means has class of inverted also. So we have just btn, secondary, and inverted, and these three things are different. So with the inverted, I think this is a very good principle in like UI design. So inverted, it means like the color is the background, and the background color is just the color. So it's just inverting things. And I think you can see like this similar design applied to like many websites. And we are going to use this inverted design, and we are going to code it later on in the CSS. And then for CSS, for the href, because this is say hello, we want to use like some sort of context, like context. So we can use mail to, because we want this to direct to an email, mail to. So there's a useful HTML attribute here. You can use hello at test.com. Okay, so let's see. Oh, and then we can just click say hello here. Say hello. Okay. So if I click this, it automatically links us to my Google account. Email it. Maybe if you want this to open a new tab, you can also use target and then slash underscore underscore blank. I think I really like opening it in a new tab so we don't lose our current website. So yeah, it's now opening it on a different tab because we actually target underscore blank here. Yeah, just remove this. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our HTML. Yeah, so we are going to code the CSS. So for now, we have like in the Figma, we have like two things here, right? The mobile and then the website. So the reason we are showing these two is because it's really important to show you how the mobile looks like and the website looks like, because we cannot infer how the mobile looks like just by looking at the website, because there are like many design considerations. Like here, right? In the about me, we can have the image also on top or bottom. So that's like these design considerations that we need to take in mind. And nowadays, there's also an approach called like mobile first like design or mobile first development. So the key idea is to design on for mobile users first, because if we look at the statistics, I think nowadays more people use mobile compared to website, and we want to cater to the most users, so we are going to code it mobile first. So it means our CSS by default we will like focus it on the mobile first design, and then later on, if there are like some things that doesn't look good on the website, we will code it like at like the special cases on the for the websites. This is kind of different from back then, because I think before we focus on the laptop first, like laptop screen sizes, and then the special cases is for mobile. But right now, most people, I think the best practice is focus on the mobile at first, because most people actually use mobile. It's like more than 50% use mobile. So I will use here. So if in here, I'm going to inspect here. Inspect, and then okay. Oh, I will make it. Yeah, okay. I will just, and then my dimension I will just use iPhone 12 Pro. Because I think most people use like iPhone 12 Pro. I think they have the same dimension. And this is like, yeah, most phones, for most phones. And then, oh yeah, just to mention, we have not styled this container. We have not coded this container. This is fine for now. We want to code the CSS first for this one. Okay, so if you go to the CSS, okay, so we are going to base it on the Figma here. So if we see here, okay, I will just put Sebastian Lee here first, just to make sure it's more visible. All right, yes, Sebastian Lee here. And then our style.css, we have container and content container here. So HTML body, I'm going to explain these properties kind of quickly. The scroll behavior smooth means that if you want to scroll it, it will be smooth scroll instead of like going to the page directly. And font family is just the font type. Font weight is like the bold or like the thickness of the font. Background color, the backgrounds, and color is for the font color. So if we change it, for example, to like green, for example, it'll become green default. So yeah. So we use var here. So we use var here to reference the root here that has been defined. This is kind of useful. I think for like a good practice, we never like mention color for the color like for non-root elements, because it's very easy to make it customizable. And if you want to customize it, you are just going to see at this just these root colors. And with the max width here. So max width is the max width of the container. So container, as we see here, is like for the section. All the section, oh no, only for the header here. This is content container, so it's different. Content container here is in for this one. So have the container max width and content container max width. So a bit different. Okay. So we are going to change the H size here. H1, H2, H3. So this means we are targeting these three items at once. And we want to change the font weight here to 700. It means we want to make it a bit more bold. you can add like more, but this is like the design that we have decided to use. And then line height. Line height is also useful to make sure like it's not that crowded. Like if you can see here, they have like more line height here just to give like more space. And then we are going to style this element individually. So font size here, 2.75 rem. So what's rem? So rem is like most people, I think usually back then I usually like to use font size as just like 14px here. Like for example, px is also like acceptable, but nowadays I prefer to use rem because we have like smaller constant. Like if you're a pixel, you don't know like what's the difference between 40 and 42. But for rem, we just have like a smaller constant, and it's basis of like the regular font size. So 1 rem is the regular paragraph font size. It's 1 rem. So this is like 2.75 bigger than a standard paragraph. H2 font size is 2 rem here. And then H3, the font size here will be 1.5 rem. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's nicer. I think just add one more light on the bottom, I think. Yeah. This one is fine, yeah. All right, thank you. Yeah. H1, H2, H3. So for anchor tag, if we can see here the anchor tag here, all the anchor tag, the GitHub, email, and LinkedIn, they don't have any underline. So we want to put the anchor tag as no underline. So text decoration. So we have underline here, but we want none. So to make sure it remove this underline. And then for the color here, if you want to see the color, you can check the color here. Let me see. Oh, like this one, the Simon Fraser University. See all color here. Yeah. So the blue color here is primary 6. So we can see the color right away just by seeing this. Let's see. This. Oh, not about content here. Yeah, it has the primary 6 if you want to see this color. So I'm going to use the color of primary 6, which is the same as this one. So if you're curious, how do we generate these colors? I think we can use plugin here. So key and use plugin. This is more like Figma knowledge, but I think this is useful to decide which color to use. I think it's tints. Oh, it's component. Oh, tints and shades, yeah. And then we can run it. And then let's see. We can rectangle object to fill. Okay. So we can put like rectangle in here. And we can fill it, for example. Okay, yeah, just this color primary 5. Okay. And then if we put the plug in here, insensate, run, generate colors. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is kind of amazing. I just actually knew this yesterday, but this is how we came up with these colors. So usually I think the color that's like the default one is like the middle one. I think this is the middle one. And then we pipe, and then the system automatically generates these 5 lighter ones and then 5 darker ones. And then yeah. And how we move this to here is probably just hard code. Yeah. So it's not that fancy, but I think it works. Just put this like one by one to here. Yeah. Okay. Just put Control Z in here. I'll just leave this one. Okay. So this is how we come up with the color here. And then H1. So for the color, we can use var to reference the variable color primary 6. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think it looks kind of similar, which is nice. And then now we also want to, in this design, we don't really see the design yet, but we can use, because if we click this one, right, we don't really know what happens. Is this actually a link or not? So best practice is to add some sort of like indication for this to be a link. So this indication means it's hover, this text decoration is underlined. And then we also have a button. So this is button that's inside an anchor tag. The cursor here is pointer. So this is button that's inside a tag. But let me see. Oh, okay. I think this is for like a.btn because we have like a.btn here. Or actually just .btn because it's an anchor tag. So we can use. Now we are going to style the button here, the one that has class of button. So border is radius. So we can put border first, like background color. Sorry, background color. This is far. So you can take a look at the Figma, but just for quickness, I'm just going to add more here. Color primary 5 here. So do we see background color? Yeah, we can see the background color, and then we can see the color here. Far, color, neutral, white. Okay, yeah. Now it still looks not the same as our this one. Okay, I will just put this in here. I think it's better. Just put this in here. Okay, and then okay. Don't have that much screen real estate. Okay, .btn color, and we can have this border radius now. Border radius is for ramp. So it has a border here, but I think this is a bit too small. So we can add padding. So padding is the distance between the content and like the border here. So if you add padding, for example, here, padding left, for example, padding left first, 1 rem. Okay, padding right, 1 rem. Okay, this doesn't look that good for now, but we are going to add positioning, and then later on we will see how this looks very good. So padding left, padding right, and then we can add height here. So the height is 2.5 rem. So this adds the font height, and this just gives a better space. And then the font weight here is 600. And this is how we make this looks cool. Display as flex here. Let's see if it, okay, yeah. Now it's a way different present design. So this takes a whole width. This takes a whole width. So what's display flex? Okay, so I'm going to just give a brief intro here because flex will be used a lot in our on our CSS design, and this is what I also use daily. So this is a complete guide flexbox. This is the whole browser here. This is what I use for most references. But basically, the thing you know is this is the container. So you put the display flex to the container, and then for the children, they will be ordered because they have flex in it. So let me. Okay, I'm just going to. So if you use flexbox.tag here, so I'll add flex item here. So think of it like six unique HTML elements, and then we can put a row here. So it means from left to right, and then column here from top to bottom, from column reverse. Yeah, it's just reverse and start from the end. And then yeah, that's like the general thing that you know. And also justify content like center here. Now it's centered align to here. And if you want to make it like centered like in a y-axis, you can use align items here. So it's centered in y-axis and next axis. Yeah. And then flex wrap is, for example, this is like goes in one line, right? Oh yeah, flex wrap is to have it wrap. So make it like make it a new line if it occupies it. And yeah, this is very useful. So feel free to take a look at this. I also put this on the resources. Because like for most things, like in website, we probably want to make it flex direction row, right? Because like in laptop, we have like more wider screen. But in mobile, we want to flex it to column because mobile has less width. So we just want to flex it to like to bottom because they have less width, less width here. Okay, so we are going to continue with the design here. This is Bastian Lee display flex. We have to make it align items as center. So as we have said before, align items is to align the item here. So as we can see, the GitHub here is aligned with the image here. And then gap is 0.5 rem. And then transition, okay. For now, it occupies quite a bit of width, right? We don't really want this to occupy the whole thing. So let's see what we can do. Like direction. How about make it, let's see. So if we take a look at this index.html, we have button here that's inside social links. So let's see social links here. Responsive. Okay. But if we do this display flex, I think, oh yeah, this is what we do. Maybe let's see if I see new social links. Okay, yeah. I will just make the hero social links display to flex for now, and then put some gap here, like 1 rem. So if we put some gap, they should have some gap here, like 1 rem. The gap of which is 1 rem. Okay, looks nice. Okay, and then I'm going to continue to make it have a transition to make the button more visible if it's clickable. So we can have like transition here, transform for 0.25s, but it hasn't do anything, right? So if you want to do anything, it would have like a btn when it's hover, for example, and then text decoration. All right. Now we specify what kind of transform here. So transform is CSS property, and we can translate it to Y. So we want to make it like move kind of up, like make it like a bouncy up animation. And then if we want to make it up, we need to have like negative point here, minus 0.2 em. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. Just move this. Yeah. As you can see now, it has like this bouncy animation, which is I think pretty neat because it means like it just give more indicator that means the button is clickable. And I don't think having underline is good. Like just having the button move up is just good enough. So we can put text decoration here to also none. Okay, looks good. And then we can put btn secondary in here. Okay, so this will be ordered later on, but yeah, btn secondary in here. btn secondary. We can have the background color, which is different than the HTML and body here. So we can just put this because this is secondary. This is for inverted. So just move this to background color. That's what it will do. And then for the background color, you can have, let's see the Figma here. Okay. So this is just white. So we can use color neutral white. And then the border is, because this has border here, because I think ours doesn't really have border. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's you just cannot see it. So we can put color here, just black. And then we can put like border here now. So because this is like just white thing, we don't really know like what's the limit of this. we need to put border if it's like the background is similar with the website background. 1 point solid far, just color. We can put black if you want, but we can also put this our what we chose, like a bit like a grayish color. Yeah, and then say hello. So okay, I think I was a bit wrong. So the color and background color is not really like just turn around, but for this we make it like inverted with the blue color. So instead we use this color. For the color we use the color primary 6, and then for the background we use this neutral white. Yes, just the neutral white. Yeah, okay, because for this one we inverted with this container which we have not decorated yet. Okay, and then okay, so we are going to start with the hero first here. Okay, okay, this is the hero start, this is the hero end. Okay, let's see. So the hero start here. Let's see. We want to decorate this hello world. My name is Bastian Lee, and yeah. So first we can specify the hero. So this is hero, right? So if you want to specify the hero, it has the ID of hero. So ID of element that have ID of hero is just use this wall sign and then hero. And this is enough. But if you want to specify more, like element that has a class like ID of hero and then class of content container, you can use also like just combine these two container. And then if we hover to this, like this is just element with ID of hero and class of content container, just like this pop up, and yeah, just confirms our understanding. And then so as we can see, we want to display it to flex here because we want to flex, and the order is by column because we want to like move it from top to bottom. So we can move display to flex. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this looks chaotic because the flex direction by default is row. So we need to flex direction it to column first. And then yeah, so it still looks a bit similar, but what we want here is to have a bit of gap in between. Gap is 1 rem. Okay, and then we want to have dot hero intro text. Just here, just make sure this mention this class hero intro text, and then also hero description. We just combine these two things because we want these two things to have. If you see this, we can take a look at the Figma, but this is basically we want this to font size to be 1.5 bigger. And then the color, let's see the color. So the color we cannot really specify which color is this because this is like blue, this is gray. We can have like one override the other. So for now we want it the default just to be, let's see, just to be blue. Var color primary. Again, you can check it at the Figma if you want, but yeah, by default this is blue. And then now we can override it the description to be like this gray color. So color var. So in the Figma, this is color neutral 7. Okay, yeah, nice. And then now we have the software engineer, right? This software engineer is just like have a different color compared to this. So how do we do this? Because if we apply it to color to black, it will be all black. If you look at the index HTML, this is just software engineer. So what we can do is to have an inline container. So where div is like for a block container, like it contains like for a whole thing, like bigger things like a block, we can use span. So span is for inline container. So we will just do this. So we just cut this and put span on it. Yeah. So this is an inline container. And then now what we can do is to have these things and then put span in here. And then the color now will be black, or if you want to make it good practice, color neutral black here. Now it has the same color here. So again, this is a span that is inside the hero description, which is what we do here. This is span is inside the p tag here. Now, if we have like prettier, for example, if you did some nasty stuff here, like just a bit not orange, we in Mac or I think Windows is also the same, like Shift Alt F or Shift Option F. So if you Shift Option F, it will automatically like format the whole thing for you. So just do undo, Shift Option F, undo, Shift Option F. So this is like the second extension, which is quite neat. And then now we want to decorate the social links. These social links. Okay, the social links. Because the social links here is like a button, but we want to decorate it to be like a different color. So we can put hero social links A. The background color will be, this is like grayish color. So what we have done in the Figma, if you want to take a look, this is gray. But now the font is not really visible. So I think the color depth is just black. So we can just color neutral black. Oops. All right. Okay. So, any questions for now? Do you have any questions? I think there's no questions in the Zoom chat. So I'm just going to continue a bit more. I will try to have like a break. I think just a break every hour. So I think in about aiming like at 3:30 is we'll probably have another break, or 3:20 is. Let's see where this goes first. Okay, so we are going to style the about now. Okay, the about. So about, we can do the same thing here with this zero.content on container for the about. Okay, so now the about me, they have the same thing, display flex duration column. But I think for the about me here, they have like way bigger gap here, which compared to the hero. So we can put gap here to like 2.5 rem. Okay. Oh, this is the hero. Oh. Okay. So about 2.5 rem, and then about content div display. So we want to display to flex here, and then so this is the div here, right? So we want to display decorate these things. This about me. So we want to display flex, and because it's like always column, so just flex direction column, and then gap is 1.5 rem. So you can see the difference here. Oh wait, let's see. This is the about content. Let's see the about content. Yeah. Now it has a div here. So between the about me and my skill set, we want it to have a flex. Let's see. I don't think it's apply. Oh, I think it has. Let's see this about content. Oh yeah, this needs to have two strips here. Okay, yeah. Now it has a gap, but we don't want these gaps to also apply to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So for now, it only applies to like div, any div that's like basically inside the about content. But what I want is to have this to only be applied to this specific div, like this div, not like this div, because this is also a div, right? So we can use this like direct child specific. So this only means you only target the div that's like a direct child of this about content. So it's not like the grandson or like the great grandson. It's only the son or the daughter, like the div in here. And then we can put the about content skills now. So about content skills here. So it's like ordered by a row. So display flex again. We use a lot of flex. We use a lot of flex. And then we use flex direction to row. Okay. Oh, there's some typo here. Okay, so I think maybe there's a typo in the HTML. Let's see. About content skills. I think it looks good. About content skills. About content skills. Okay. I think there's double dash. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. Yeah. Looks good. Thank you, Art. It's been really helpful yesterday also. We can now there's no gap in here, right? There's no gap, so it looks kind of ugly. So we can put gap here, 0.5 frame. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you look at the here, the gap is also pretty much similar, but they have like this border here. So we can style the border now. Content skills. Okay. So again, we want to have a border, so we can use border here, border first to make sure it's visible. Solid var color neutral 0. Let's see. Okay. So we want to target the child, not these skills. Like if we see it in XML, we want to target each of these div to have like a background. So we can use div. So okay, it's not really visible for now. See. Yeah. So if we want to, we need to have like padding left here. Again, padding left 1 rem, padding right 1 rem. Also, like a fancy CSS trick that you can do here is if you want to like specify 2 values here, like for example, here and here. So it means like this is for the padding top and bottom, 0 is for padding top and bottom, and the right one is for padding left and right, if I'm not wrong. So if I comment this out, 0 and 1 rem, it's the same thing. So I can add 1 rem here. So it's for the top and bottom. But for now, I think we only want for the top just 0 here. Or maybe I think maybe try 0.5 rem, just trying things a bit differently. And then we can add border radius for now. Border radius 4 rem. I think that's what we have decided also for the previous border radius. It's also 4 rem, yeah. 4 rem. So it's good to make things like consistent across the website. Yep. So we have this fancy my skill set here. And then let's see what it need to do. We can have more line height, I think. Let's see if it's help. Okay, it doesn't do anything, so it's fine if you remove this. Okay, so can we use the projects? Okay, yeah. So this is it for the about. Okay, I'm going to finish the projects first and then try to finish the guide in touch and then see like what time remaining and then we can have a break. Okay, so project start. Let's see with the project start. Yeah. So again, we can copy pasting this thing again. This about content container. Just do flex again. Project content container. Is it projects or projects? Yeah, it's projects with S. Okay. Nice. We want it to be column. So if we see this, projects, and then we align these projects and the project item. So in only aligning 2 items. So and the gap is 1.5 rem. Okay. And then we can have the project item now. So the project item is this whole thing, other than the image. Project item here, just do the same. So here, so we can also like put comma in here, but I'm just going to add this because I think this like talking about flex and just to make it more understandable for people. And now we can put project item description and then put display flex, just copy pasting this. But let's see what's the gap is. Oops, sorry. 1 rem. Okay. So now we are adding this item description and then I think this button has no gaps. Like, yeah, it's a bit janky. So we are going to add the project item description here. And then, oh no, sorry, project item actions in here. So if you see here, project item actions, display to flex, again, flex. Now it's really nice, right? It's not like it's inline, but this has no gap. So we just add gap here. 0.5 formatting is enough. Hey, so okay, website project's looking good. Now we are just going to add the contact now. Okay, I think we have a lot of time, so I'm just going to start finishing the contact now, and then we will finish the contact, and I will add like some tweaks to make this, because this a bit looks too crowded, right? It has no padding, and then we can have a break, and then we can try to code it for the desktop version, because I think for now it looks, oh yeah, it doesn't look good on the desktop because this a whole gigantic face. Yeah, we don't want that. So again, we can put context, contact, and then do the same display flex, I think, because if we see the contact here, they have 3 elements, and then we want to order it by column. And then I think we want to have like some gap in here. So yeah, just keep using flex. It's like I think flex in web development, it's like that one OP character that you keep using because they're just that good. It's just really easy. There's also like display grid, but I've never used it because like flex is just way more intuitive for me. So gap 1.5 rem, and then so we want to have like this background color, right? So we can try background color, and then if you inspect in Figma, this color is just color primary 5. Okay, yeah, doesn't look that good for now. So it's a bit too cramped, so we want to have padding. So let's try padding. Padding is like the distance between the content and the border. Here, so this is the padding, which is different than margin. So if you use margin, it's like the distance between like the element to like each other element. So if you use padding margin here, we don't see the blue that often. Yeah, the blue is like way in here. So we need padding for now, and then I think we can have some bit of margin here because they have margin. Let's see, margin 1 rem. Okay, yeah, looks good. And then let's see what next. Oh yeah, we need border radius. Okay, because this is a big thing. Let's see if 4 rem looks good. Okay, 4 rem, I think this is a bit too curvy, not like this. So we can try a bit smaller. So what we have decided is 1.5, I think. Yeah, I think this looks quite similar. And then we just need more color here. Color, I think white. Just use far color neutral white. Okay. Okay, we are almost done. Okay, so this say hello looks a bit, yeah, this is a bit too fat. We want it to be like a proportionate size. So what we can do here is we can select the anchor tag that's inside this container, and then width specify to fit content. So if we choose width, we can hit this auto, right? I think by default is auto, but we want to fit content, so fit the text. Okay, yeah, looks good. So if you're, I think the problem with like CSS, like some people have a trouble with CSS is like we don't really know with what kind of like properties to use. So what has worked for me is like just like building it through exposure. You don't need to remember it, but you just need to like know that this tool exists. And if you know this tool exists, you can just basically Google it or use it like from Stack Overflow, and I think that's very helpful. And then you can just solve it. Yeah, and then this is the contact. Okay, so pretty much everything is done. But if you see this mobile version, they have like a bit of like margin and padding, right? So what we can do here is we have the main here. So main is the father of all sections. So we can add main in this global. So I think just before the container. So let's see the main. Yeah. So main. Again, main display again flex. We want it to be flex to column, right? So this is display to row. Okay, yeah. I think it's a good personal website, but not for my taste. Flex direction column. And then they have like some gaps in here. So if we see here, they have some gaps in here. They have some gaps between sections. I think if we see the Figma here, if you take a look at the main here, they have like this. Oh, this thing, yeah. This is like the gap between like 72. And then, but we want to like convert it to RAM. So we use 6 RAM. Yep. And then we just move this. Okay, now it has quite some space between each section. And we want the most important part is to have like this spacing like in top and bottom. So we can use padding here. And again, I can use like these two value, 9 RAM and 1 RAM. So 9 RAM is for the top and bottom, and 1 RAM is for the left and right. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I think now it looks quite spacious. This is what we want. And then yeah. Now if you look this thing, I think this needs to be like has the same level as this project. So this we don't need margin for this one because we already have like some spacing between this and the other. Yeah, no, I think it looks proportional to the project image. Yeah. Okay, so I think we are almost done. We just need to add the header for now. Okay, so I'll just add a little bit of header. So, okay, add header, let's see, index.html. Oh, just add a bit of header. So this header, I kind of left it to the last part because I think this is like one of the harder part for me because you have like a different section in mobile and the website. Okay, so I think for now we will just take 10 minutes breaks because this is like a different content and we have just finished with the mobile, so we can take breaks until like 15:30, I guess. Yeah, breaks after 15:30.